Hello everyone, welcome back to another nature video. Today's topic is the impact of air pollution on humans. Ever wondered why is Earth Day started? In the late 1960s, the US saw regular choking smog descend over New York City and Los Angeles. 1 lakh barrels of oil spilled off the coast of Santa Barbara, California, and the fires burning on the surface of Cuyahoga River in Ohio. All these incidents sparked the modern environmental movement, the first Earth Day and a decade of extraordinary environmental lawmaking and rulemaking. From the 70s through the beginning of the 21st century, the fight against fossil fuels was a fight about pollution, especially the air pollution. Over the next few decades, the focus has shifted to global warming and fossil fuels have largely been reframed as a climate problem. And that makes sense given the enormous implications of climate change for long-term human well-being. In fact, even as attention has shifted to climate change, the air pollution case has grown stronger and stronger as the science on air pollution has advanced. Researchers are now much more able to pinpoint air pollution's direct and indirect effects, and the news has been uniformly bad. The evidence is now clear enough that it can be stated very clearly. It would be worth freeing ourselves from fossil fuels even if the global warming did not exist. Especially now that clean energy has gotten so cheap, the air quality benefits alone are enough to pay for the energy transition. This conclusion has been reaffirmed by the latest air quality research presented at Duke University. Research studies reveal that the effects of air pollution are roughly twice as bad as previously estimated. Let's take a closer look at the evidence for this extraordinary claim. Science keeps revealing that air pollution is more harmful than previously believed. Schindel and his team at Duke have attempted to quantify those benefits. Schindel's team mapped out a pathway from 2020 to year 2070 that reduced US greenhouse gas emissions consistent with the world's pledge to stay below 2 degrees centigrade and attempted to quantify the air quantity and climate benefits. The numbers are eye-popping. Over the next 50 years, keeping to the 2 degrees centigrade pathway would prevent roughly 4.5 million premature deaths, about 3.5 million hospitalizations and emergency room visits, and approximately 300 million lost work days in the US. All that prevented death, illness, and lost productivity adds up to a lot of savings. The avoided deaths are valued at more than 37 trillion. The avoided healthcare spending due to reduced hospitalizations and emergency room visits exceeds 37 billion, and the increased labor productivity is valued at more than 75 billion. On average, this amounts to over 700 billion per year in benefits to the US from improved health and labor alone, far more than the cost of the energy transition. Unfortunately, I did not find these numbers calculated for India, but studies claims that poor air quality caused 12 lakh deaths in India. When we compared this in terms of money, benefits will be less compared to USA as the per capita income and healthcare costs are less in India. In India, air pollution is 3 times more than USA, so you can imagine the benefits India will get compared to US. Importantly, many of the benefits can be accessed in the near term. Right now, air pollution leads to almost 12 lakhs premature deaths a year. Within a decade, aggressive decarbonization will greatly reduce the number of deaths that would otherwise be lost due to bad air quality. That's nearly 12 times the number of lives India loses in car accidents every year, and it is even more than the number of Indians we lose to diabetes each year. The science has been developing rapidly. Scientists now know that exposure to smog, which is nothing but tiny microscopic particulates, hurts prenatal and young brains. Even though they don't yet fully understand the biological mechanism, they know that it reduces impulse control and degrades academic performance. Similarly, they know it hurts the kidneys, the spleen, and even the nervous system. The well-understood pathways, things like strokes, lower respiratory infections, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease only seems to capture about half the total. When you look at the new studies, you find that air pollution seems to affect almost every organ in the human body. A recent study from the National Academies of multiple countries put it this way: the scientific evidence is unequivocal. Air pollution can harm health across the entire lifespan. It causes disease, disability, and death, and impairs everyone's quality of life. It damages lungs, hearts, brains, skin, and other organs. It increases the risk of disease and disability, affecting virtually all systems in the human body. On both air pollution and climate change, the study omitted many effects that are clearly present but cannot yet be reliably quantified. The true numbers are almost certainly higher. It is true that climate change can only be averted with the entire world's cooperation. If one country reduces its emission to net zero like Bhutan, but the other countries of the world, especially the most populated and developing countries, continue on their current trajectory, it will make almost no difference in the temperature. The air quality benefits arrive much sooner than the climate benefits. They can be secured without the cooperation of other countries. Climate change or no climate change, it is worth ditching fossil fuels. And if this is true in the country like US, where the air quality is comparatively clean, it is true tenfold for countries like China and India, where air quality remains extremely bad. A Lancet Commission study in 2017 found that in 2015, air pollution killed 12 lakh people in India and 15 lakhs in China. Air pollution remains the leading environmental health risk factor contributing to premature death worldwide. Healthcare costs and lost worker productivity are direct economic impacts of air pollution. What can we do to help fight air pollution? Ride a bicycle or walk instead of driving. Take a bus or carpool. Buy an electric car or a car that has greater fuel efficiency. Turn off the lights and appliances when they are not in use. Use energy efficient lights and appliances. Buy fewer things that are manufactured using fossil fuels. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video. For more interesting videos, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.